Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something absolutely mind-blowing, the building blocks of life. We're going to zoom way out to look at the massive, visible world we interact with every single day. And then, we're shrinking all the way down into the invisible, microscopic universe that's literally inside of you right now. It's this spectacular journey from the physical structures we build with our own two hands to the biological structures that, well, build us. Let's get into it. Okay, let's dive right into this idea. Think about a construction worker setting out to build a towering skyscraper or a cozy house or even just a simple garden wall. They don't just wave a magic wand and boom, a completed building manifests, right? No, they build it piece by piece. They start with one single brick, slap on some mortar, lay down another brick, and repeat that process thousands and thousands of times. So what does this all mean for us? Well, what actually is the basic structure of your school, or your house for that matter? If you strip away the paint, tear down the drywall, get rid of the windows and the doors, what are you actually left with? You're left with those foundational units, the bricks, the wooden frames, maybe some cinder blocks. They're the absolute essential pieces that give any building its shape and its strength. And, as you'll see, nature works in a remarkably similar way. Just like a building needs its bricks to stand tall, living things need their own foundational pieces to exist. Enter the biological equivalent of a brick. The cell. It's the absolutely smallest basic unit of structure and function in a living thing. This is it, the biological brick. And I literally mean it when I say everything living. If it is alive, it's made of cells. We're talking about the funky fungi growing on a fallen log, the green algae blooming in a local pond, your pet dog, those towering trees outside, and yes, you and me. Every single living organism on this planet relies on this fundamental unit of life. But here is where it turns into an incredible story of scale. Biology is just wildly diverse. On one end of the spectrum, some living things are made up of just a single cell. That's right, just one. Organisms like bacteria, the amoeba, the paramecium, they survive, thrive, and do everything they need to do as one solitary microscopic unit. On the flip side, though, you have organisms made of many cells, plants, animals, us humans. To put that into perspective, you aren't just made of a few cells. You are built from trillions of them. Trillions. All of them working together in this perfect harmony, kind of like an infinitely complex biological city. Now, you might be wondering, hey, if I'm made of trillions of these things, why on earth can't I see them? Well, the truth is, most cells are simply too small to be seen with the naked eye. We need a little bit of help. A simple hand magnifying glass is a fantastic start if you want to see, say, the fine ridges of a leaf or the weird texture of an onion skin. But to see those actual biological bricks, we have to go much, much deeper. To cross that threshold into the invisible world, we use a microscope. You can think of scientists and researchers who use these as microscopic detectives. By peering through these super powerful lenses, they uncover a totally hidden universe. They can study these tiny structures, figure out their inner components, and explore the bustling, invisible world of bacteria and other microorganisms that literally surround us every single day. Now, what's really interesting about this next bit is seeing it for yourself. Do me a favor, take a quick second and just look down at the back of your own hand. Notice the texture, those little tiny lines, the flexibility of your skin. Got it? Okay, now think about that while we compare microscopic onion cells on one side and human skin cells on the other. Notice how completely different they are? The plant cells of the onion are rigid, highly structured, and packed super tightly together in these neat columns and rows. But your skin cells, they form a totally different, almost messy pattern that gives you that flexible, protective barrier you just looked at on your own hand. If we break this comparison down a bit more, comparing the structure of the onion to the structure of the skin, a really clear pattern emerges. Looking at the shape, the onion cells are decidedly rectangular. I mean, they look incredibly brick-like, literally mirroring that brick wall we talked about at the start of this explainer. But the human skin cell, its shape is totally irregular, almost scaly, which is exactly what allows it to stretch and bend without breaking. But look closely at the size row. They share one absolute crucial trait. They are both microscopic. This brilliantly illustrates a key fact and completely debunks a huge misconception. Absolutely not all cells have the exact same shape and size. Form follows function, guys. Every cell is uniquely shaped to do its specific job. Let's pivot for just a second, because biology isn't only about shapes and structures. It's also about some truly staggering numbers. I want to take a super quick, fascinating math detour. Right now, coursing through your veins, you have different types of cells, mostly red blood cells and white blood cells. And here's the crazy part. They exist in a very specific, carefully balanced ratio in a healthy body. Exactly 1,000 to 1. For every single white blood cell on patrol in your bloodstream fighting off invaders, there are 1,000 red blood cells carrying oxygen. So let's put your critical thinking to the test with a quick mental math puzzle directly from our source material today. Imagine a scientist is looking through their microscope at a tiny little sample of blood. They do a careful count and find exactly 3,000 red blood cells in that specific sample. Based on that 1,000 to 1 ratio we literally just learned about, how many white blood cells would you expect them to find hiding in that exact same sample? I'll give you a second to do the math in your head. Did you get it? You would find exactly 3 white blood cells. So the crucial point here is this. Biology isn't just random chaos. It is a highly ordered, predictable, and mathematically beautiful system. Those 3 white blood cells are vastly, vastly outnumbered, but they are exactly where they need to be, doing their specific job to keep the whole, incredibly complex organism functioning perfectly. Which brings us to our final provocative thought for today's explainer. I really want you to think about this. Are the structures of your body similar to your home or your school? On a macroscopic, zoomed-out level, you're soft, you're mobile, you're alive, pretty much entirely unlike a stiff brick building, right? But on a microscopic level, you are entirely constructed of fundamental building blocks, meticulously stacked, organized, and functioning together to create something so much greater than the sum of its parts. The next time you walk past a brick building, I hope you think about the trillions of microscopic living bricks doing the exact same thing inside of you right now. Thanks so much for joining me on this deep dive, and keep asking questions about the amazing world inside you.